Hello
Hello
and
and
welcome
welcome
to
to
the
the
Walang
Walang
Hiya
Hiya
Podcast.
Podcast. I'm Julian and I'm 12 years old.
And my name is Annika and I'm Julian's mom. Okay, so this is our very first episode
Yeah.
as podcasters, no, Julian?
Yeah.
Isn't it exciting?
Yeah. Super.
Super exciting. Okay, so of course, the people who are listening to this podcast, they don't really know who we are.
Mm.
And I think let's start this episode by introducing ourselves, if that's okay with you, so they
Yeah.
can get to know
Sige.
you. Okay, so you go first.
So, yun, I'm Julian. I'm 12 years old, as I said nga. And uh, I like to cook. I like math.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I want to be a chef when I grow up.
Oh, okay.
And I play the violin. So, yeah, mga fun fact lang tungkol
Yeah.
sa akin.
Mm-hmm.
Yun, and like a lot of people, a lot of kids nowadays, gamer ako, of course. So, yun.
What games do you like playing?
Minecraft,
Of course, yeah.
and D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh.
Pretty nerdy, actually.
Pretty nerdy. Okay, yeah.
Mga nerds yung mga kaibigan ko. And I can't lie, ako din. So, yun.
Mm-hmm.
Yun. So, ikaw naman, Nay.
All right. Yeah. Well, for me, naman, no, I am Julian's mom, as I said earlier. Then, and I had Julian when I was 23 years old. So that was like 12 years ago, of course, because 12 years old na si Julian, right?
Malamang.
And I am an entrepreneur, and most of the time I work all day. So all day and all night, actually. And Julian is my only son, and of course, being my only son, Julian is the most important person in my life. That's why I think this podcast is very important, because number one, I really want to get to know you on a deeper level, Julian. Even though like we're together all day, I mean we share the same house, it's still important to connect with you in an emotional level and in a deeper level. So I think that's why when you asked me about let's do a podcast, I was like, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, that's just the gist about me. I don't like cooking. That's why Julian is super important, because sometimes I wake up may food na, right? Julian cooks really well, and yeah, that's just like a little bit information about me. Yeah. So let me ask you this, Julian. So now people know. Well, they don't know us, but just a little bit
They know
information
the
about us.
surface level.
Surface level, yeah, exactly. But for you, when you asked me to do this podcast, like, what was it, or what was going through your mind at that time? Why did you want to start this podcast?
Well, kasi I actually tried to start the podcast by myself. So like on TikTok, I had like it wasn't really a series, mainly like 5-6 episodes, mga ganun ata.
Right.
It was called Reflection Time.
Yeah.
And so like in Reflection Time, there was like topics that like about like depression, about peer pressure, like a lot of stuff like that, were like mainly targeted to other teens, because ngayon like modern times, madaming like teens that experience those things that like I'm sure like before this generation, it was like more common in adults, right? And so I want to be able to like talk to other people and like let them reflect basically on their problems, and also share like other people's perspective about
Mhm.
things. And so when I asked you to do this podcast with me, I mainly because like I did end up reflection time on like 6 episodes
Mhm.
basically. So like I wanted the podcast to like run for longer, and since
Right.
I need an adult's help to do that, but um like mainly so that um I would I can also let the teens, like, because for me that's my target audience, teens.
Right.
I So that I can let them hear the opinions of a parent that's open to talking about these topics.
Mm.
And so, since hindi lang naman yung teens ang may problems and the
Mhm.
parents too, I would like to like think that you can share the perspective for like you can share the perspective of a parent to
Mhm.
kids,
Right.
and I can share the perspective of kids to
To the
parents naman.
parents. Mm.
So yeah, it's like a good dynamic that we have.
Mm.
And since for most of my life we've been you know uh talking really like deep into topics like this, yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, I I do agree with you on that because that's what's unique about our relationship. Like even before this podcast, since we can really talk about anything. So I don't well there is the mother and son relationship, but beyond that, we are very open to each other. We talk about my problems, my personal problems, your personal problems. We can even talk about serious things, funny things, even sensitive topics such as love, such as reproductive systems, and there was a time we also talked about sex. At a very young age. I think you were already 12 at that time, just a few months ago. And I think it's very this stage in your life is very crucial since you're preteen, you're going to teenager, and the curiosity in you is heightened. It talagang super you're curious about a lot of things, and who is the best person for you to talk about those things? Well, majority of the time, especially in our culture, kids or children don't really talk about these things with their parents, diba?
Yeah.
Because there's like a wall between the children and the parents, and um, that's why that's actually, I believe, for me, that's why I said yes to doing this podcast, is to break that wall, that Filipino culture wall that separates children from parents.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, for me, like the goal here is to open up, like what you said a while ago, no, very important yun, when you mentioned that uh, for your target audience, the preteens, the teens, so that they can have the parents' perspective, and for parents like me to have the children's perspective on sensitive topics.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's really important for people to know. Yeah.
Yeah, so eto naman, at the start of our intro, we call this podcast nga the Walang Hiya Podcast.
Mm.
And so uh you actually just told me about that like before we started recording.
Right.
So yeah, my question for you, like, because I've also like thought about why we can call it the Walang Hiya Podcast, but since you're the one who thought of it, I would like to ask you why you thought of calling the podcast the Walang Hiya Podcast.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a very good question. Kasi walang hiya in English, it means no shame, right?
Yeah.
Literally, it no
Oo.
shame, and that's what I want you and our listeners to feel when we talk about sensitive topics. That there is no shame in talking about these topics. Kasi what I'm envisioning for us to be doing is to really uncover a lot of things that people or Filipino families don't even think of talking about, you know?
Yeah.
So, yun, there will be a lot of discussions that will maybe controversial for some people, for some families. And the walang hiya means no shame. We don't have any shame. You don't have any shame. I don't have any shame in expressing our thoughts and our feelings.
Yeah, kasi
emotions.
dapat like open space yung podcast.
Correct. Correct. Good thing that you said that. Open space or a safe space.
Yeah,
it's
safe
a safe space for you to express whatever it is that you want to express, especially your opinions. You might have a very different opinion than mine, and this is your space. This is your open space, your free space to express whatever you want to express. Yeah.
That's also like what we want our viewers to have na with like kasi yeah, well, that's a good thing na like we shouldn't have any shame while talking about these topics. But ano din is like one thing kasi like 'di ba a lot of Filipino families, well, not just Filipino, actually a lot of families in the world don't really talk about like hard topics to talk about, like their emotional health, like mental health. Like they don't really talk about that. Like usually whoever's experiencing that, like they don't have a safe space to talk about that, like to talk about their problems. And so like and it might be like hard for them to like talk about it to their parents. So like it would be good to for our viewers to be able to have that safe space with us, to talk to us about it, to listen to us talk about it, and to like share their opinions about it, and to really reflect on their problems and the problems going on around them. But one thing is that while it's good that they have a safe space in us, they should also try to talk about it with their parents as well, kasi like while it's good na they have an open space with us, they should also be able to talk about it with their parents, because with us we're talking about our own problems, and they might have problems that we won't even cover in this podcast. So it would be also good that they are able to talk to their parents about their own problems and their own opinions, and to get the perspective of their own parents, because as human beings we are all complex, and we all have different emotions, different thoughts, different problems. So what could be my opinion could be what could be my opinion could not be someone else's opinion. And so we all have our different opinions on this, which is why then I want to do this with another person so that we can share opinions. But so like we might talk about things that for one viewer it doesn't really help them. So it would be good for them to talk to their parents, their loved ones, or to seek help from professionals like therapists and ganun.
And what I'm hearing is that based on what you said, what I'm hearing is that because we have different problems, what we are experiencing, they might not be experiencing the same thing, or they might be experiencing something worse, right? So one of the things that they can expect from our podcast is some techniques. Now, we will teach them also in the future on how to open up, right? Not to talk about a certain, let's say for example sex, not specifically about sex, but how to open up that kind of topic with their parents,
with their loved ones.
Yes. Okay, that's perfect. So that goes to our very first topic of this podcast, and this is the question that I have with, but I have never experienced this. But I know majority of the families do.
Mm.
So the question is, like, why do you think? Why is it hard for families to talk about sensitive things, especially when it comes to emotions? Why is it so hard for children to open up to their parents and for parents to open up to their kids as well?
Mm. Well, medyo hirap yung tanong na yun. Ano,
First
ah,
episode pa lang, no? Hirap
oo,
na.
hirap na agad ah. Bigla na lang naging exam na. Di ako nakapag-review. Pero, siguro naman, like, I think it's because in like a lot of past generations, it's usually like it usually shows like people think that like being emotional, being like crying, being being emotional like shows sign of weakness, and that's been passed on from generation to generation to generation to even now. So I
Right.
think that's why it's kind of hard for people to talk about those things. And also um uh yeah, like, so it's been hard for people to talk about those things because it makes them seem weak to
Right.
other people, especially like a lot of parents are closed off to those topics because nga, they were taught to be closed off to those topics. But one thing that's really good in our dynamic is that like you are able to like break that break the cycle,
Right.
basically. And yeah, break the cycle, that's one of like the terms that I really like, because it's been used to describe what I'm describing right now, where like families pass down these thoughts,
Right.
these like all of these negative thoughts that we carry on to this day. But the thing is, as a parent, which is like for you, like it's really good that you were able to break that cycle to teach me to be open to that, because now I will teach my kids to be open to that, and they will teach their kids, and like forward. So it went from negative to positive, basically. So yeah, like a lot of families, I feel like they're closed off because nga, of the way that they were taught themselves.
Right.
But so sige. Ikaw, nawala yung, bigla na lang nawala. Ikaw na lang.
No,
Ikaw na
I
sasabihin
agree
ko.
with you, and I think what you're talking about is the generational trauma. I think that's the specific term that we can use for that. It's being passed on from generations to generations, and it's part of our culture not to talk about it because we are being judged. Kagaya nga ng sinabi mo kanina, just like what you said earlier, that when you show emotion, especially when you're crying, that's a sign of weakness. That's why when we get teary-eyed, you know what other people do, they fan, parang pinapaypayan nila yung eyes nila to dry out the tears, because no, the other people should not see me cry because I'm not weak, I'm strong.
Kasi usually like crying, it's associated with like babies, diba? Like
Right.
like vulnerability.
I love that term. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I love that. Okay.
Yeah, yun din for our viewers, malalim yung vocabulary ko. So baka gusto niyo kumuha ng dictionary.
Wow. Wow.
Pero
You're
yun,
kidding.
sige.
No.
Tuloy,
Okay.
tuloy.
But then, yeah, you're right. Being vulnerable means weakness, and when we are vulnerable, we are being judged by other people. And I think that the fear of judgment is what hinders us, or really keeps us from being open to other people. And yun yung break natin. Actually, parang naisip ko nga ngayon bigla, parang dapat ata pangalan ng podcast natin is Breaking the Cycle.
And then,
Yeah, but okay. But anyway, so parting words, because I don't want to take so much of our time, because this is just our first
Yeah.
episode, and I want our audience to really look forward to our next one. So parting words, anything that you would like to say before we end our episode?
um,
Let me go first.
Sige.
Let me go
Wala
first.
lang,
Okay.
wala
Yeah. Yeah. I want to just tell everyone, and we want to welcome you to this space. And the fact that you're still listening up to this now, it's been 20 minutes. That means that you are open. You really want to make a difference between your relationship. But as a parent, you want to make a difference between, like, in your relationship with your kids. So I commend you. I'm happy that you are still here listening to us. And we are going to be sharing a lot of insights and some tips and techniques on how you can have this kind of relationship. I'm not saying that my relationship with my son is perfect. It's far from being perfect. One of the things that I really want is to have more time with him. And by doing this podcast, that's my effort of being closer to him, even though we are already close. So life is an evolution. We're always learning, and I really hope that our future episodes, including this one, will really be an eye opener for majority of the parents that are listening to this episode or podcast. Yan ang akin. How about you?
well,
Ito na lang, what's your message to the teenagers, the kids who are listening to this episode?
so, yeah, yun. Like, if you are still listening to up to this point nga, that means, like my nanay said nga, you are trying to make an effort to be more open to your problems, to be more open with your parents. I think that tuloy lang na gagawa ng effort for that. And you should, like, if you're listening to this up to this point, then that means you definitely do have something you want to talk about, something you want to hear from this podcast. So, like, I encourage you to try to talk to your parents about your own problems and try to get their insight about what you're feeling. So, yun, like,
and
yun lang.
they can expect
Yeah.
more from us.
Yeah, you can
on
expect
our-
way more from this podcast. So, yun, dapat wala kayong hiya.
Wala kayong hiya. Yeah, I like that. All right. Okay, well,
So,
thank you so much,
thank you,
Julian.
guys.
Thank you. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you on our next episode.
Bye.
Bye.